What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Voltage Line. It's TJ here once again with another episode for you guys. Now, I'm not on camera tonight, so I'm sorry you can't see my devilishly handsome face, but I am still here with you guys. I want to kind of touch base with you guys and begin by saying I hope that everyone had a joyful, blessed Christmas, regardless of how you celebrated, whether you were able to spend time with family or maybe not. I hope that you still had a joyful holiday regardless. And I hope, and I cannot say this sincerely enough, I hope that we all have a better 2021. And yes, that is just a few days away until the new year begins. And, I'm not really one to say resolutions or, trying to have too many wild objectives for myself. I usually just say the same old generic thing. I hope for good health and to keep going ahead in life, regardless of what that means. Just moving on, basically. And generally, I would say the same for 2021, but definitely there's an emphasis to be made about good health, because I hope that this pandemic begins to die down. I can't say enough. Vaccine. I mean, I'm not one of those people that believes in pressing my opinions on people. That's not my thing. That's not what I do. But I will say, I hope for the greater good, a lot of people put at least consideration into getting the COVID vaccine so that we can begin to see this die down. Because I'll be honest, I think, honestly, I trust the scientists. I trust the data. If they are saying it's safe, I don't think they're steering the American people, and globally for that matter, in the wrong direction. I just simply don't. So that's my take on that. But I digress. So I hope that 2021 is a wonderful year, a better year, if nothing else, because it just won't be 2020. I mean, 2020 was just one of those years that will just go down in the history books for just absolutely sucking. I mean, it was just suck after suck after suck. I mean, throw in some crazy crap like, I don't know, KFC making a Lifetime movie with Mario Lopez as Colonel Sanders, and, murder hornets and all these crazy things that happened this year. And murder hornets is a joke, obviously, it didn't really happen. But I'm saying we had so many crazy things happen in 2020. I would like to see life go back to some kind of normalcy. I really would. And it was a tough year. I'm not going to say it definitely was, to my recollection, the toughest year of my life. I definitely would say that. It was the most challenging in terms of my anxiety, my depression. Both of those things came to an absolute head in this year. I mean, oh man, I had several months of just suffering from these things, especially anxiety and depression too. But there was other factors, which I'll discuss in another episode soon. There was other factors that are not related to COVID at all that really brought that into fruition, the anxiety and depression. But generally speaking, COVID was a huge chunk of it, because none of us have really lived through anything like this. And some people probably did escape the mental impacts of the isolation and the health crisis in general simply by living in denial. And that's okay too, I suppose. I mean, really, if you think about it, who am I to judge for what other people do mentally, internally, to survive this health crisis? To some people, they might not be emotionally equipped to deal with the reality of the COVID pandemic. So instead, they turn to political views and they just simply deny it. And, the whole thing about COVID being a hoax has really died down. I haven't even seen my most avid Trump supporters on Facebook saying stuff like that anymore. But now they turn to, oh, the death toll is greatly exaggerated, things like that. But at least the good news is it seems like everyone is taking COVID a little less seriously than they did a few months ago. So that's the good news. And by all means, that is not to say that I think people should live in fear or that we should walk around in a bubble and be absolutely terrified to live, because I think that also has a very negative impact. And it goes to, it would be a valid argument to also say, are you really living if you are living in absolute fear? And to me, the answer is no, you're not. But at the same time, take common sense precautions, wear a mask, sanitize your hands like crazy if you're going into the stores, and by all means, at least consider getting the vaccination when it's your time to do so, or when you can do so. That's all I can say. I really would hope that people would at least consider it. I know for me personally, as I said earlier in the podcast, I do trust the scientists. I trust the data. I trust the medical professionals. If they say it's safe and they encourage us to do so, I'm going to put my faith in them and not some people that might be politically driven that might say not to. So that's just my take on it. But I also accept and realize that everyone has different valid perspectives. So with that being said, moving on now. So ahead in 2021, you guys can expect the same kind of content coming from me. I do expect to be picking up on my regular posting of these episodes. I want to focus a lot more on life and some food podcasts as well. I guess food episodes of the podcast. I want to do some gaming too on this channel too. But really, this is not about just a variety of anything that I want to talk about, and I hopefully you guys might find compelling enough to listen to. But I want to thank you guys again for tuning in. This is not meant to be a prolonged episode. I just wanted to basically give you guys a little heads up, say hello. Again, wish you guys a very Merry Christmas. At least, I guess, I hope that you had a very Merry Christmas. And by all means, I can't say it enough. I really hope that we all have a better New Year ahead. I think we all need this, guys, okay? We all need it. And it's like, no matter what that means for each individual, I hope that everyone does have a healthier, better year ahead. And whether you have been personally impacted by the COVID pandemic or not, I would say that pretty much everyone has felt the wide-ranging impacts of it. So let's hope that we get back to some kind of normalcy for 2021, or at least get on a much better path to achieving that normalcy. So those are just some of my reflections on this past year and for next year. Thank you again for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it so much. If you like my content, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you're watching on YouTube, or I guess listening on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Please be awesome and do so. It helps me out a lot. Until next time, guys, peace out.